How you doing, man? How you been? What you been up to, man? You been good?
Man, I'm straight, man. I won't complain, man. I just you know what I'm saying, a day go by. You understand? Everything going by as it should. That's what they say. I ain't got nothing to refute it with, you know what I'm saying? But I'm seeing progress. You know what I'm saying? They say just take the first step.
Yeah.
I've been taking the first steps. So as things been going, man, you know, as steady as it go, man, I really can't complain, man, because I ain't where I want to be, but but I damn sure ain't where I used to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right though. I feel I'm 100% where you at on that. But I appreciate you coming on the show, man. You know, and really, that's why I got you on here because you ain't where you want to be. So when you become a billionaire, I'm gonna say, man, look, he was on my show.
You know why I do this? DJ Metal Monkey style.
Time to play, time to set this shit straight. If you know, then you know. If you don't, you better get the fuck out of here. I'm trying to be smart. The fuck you trying to start? Better stop, kick rocks and get the fuck out of here. Time to set this shit straight. If you know, then you know. If you don't, you better.
Playback. I'm already getting. I don't know. Your show did good. When we did the last show.
Word.
I'm thinking 3,500 or some shit like that. I don't know, but it was nice. It was nice, and I got good feedback.
Okay, that's what's up there. That's what's up. It's promising. But yeah, speaking of then the same thing with you. You come a millionaire, man. I ain't tripping. Just let me borrow $1. That's all.
You already know it's on. All right. So I don't really. I got a lot of stuff I want to talk to you about. I guess I'll start off right here. Since we're in the year, Cat Williams kicked it off, and the year ain't slowed down since. We got the Diddy shit. We got all types of stuff going on. You posted, true or false, you have to risk humiliation in order to get somewhere in life.
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
Well, you know what I'm saying? Like the way people answer that, I think is the way they kind of comprehend it. All right, like for instance, one of the issues that I've been having on the poetry scene, all right, because it took for me to be exposed to certain situations in order to see just how comparatively out there I am to a lot of people. I had to go, like for instance, there was this one poem that I did. It was some of my best work. It went clean over people's head. Okay, and then I'm just sitting here, so I had to go and I had to confide in some people, like, you know, just like some of my real people. I like, okay, pretend you don't know me and listen to this, and they're like, "What do you think of it? Is it a good poem?" They're like, "Yeah, that's dope," you know what I'm saying, or whatever, you know what I'm saying. I'm like, no, blow smoke. I really want to know. And so they're like, "Yeah, it was cool." I'm like, okay. And so the thing is that we know at this particular point in time that everybody's not gonna like us. You understand? Ain't nothing we can do about it. Ain't nothing that we probably should do about it. But the thing is that if you go out there, put yourself out there, let's just say in front of a wrong crowd, because let's just say, you understand, rappers, you know what I'm saying? Not just anybody who stands up in front of a crowd, you're doing a speech. If your speech, if your poem, if your performance, if it tanks, you can be like, damn. You know, you put your heart and soul out there. You know what I'm saying? This ain't just entertainment. This ain't just, you put it all out there. And so you like, and so for me, it was just like, I was trying to figure out like, okay, what's really going on? And so in any case, just like you got somebody, you know, so just like, okay, let's put it in other terms too. You have a revolutionary idea. You have, and this idea, and you seen it, you connected the dots, you put all these things, but then it is so out there, so crazy, it's so wise, it's so smart that the average mind, they can't pick up on it. They like, and so they'll laugh you out the room. And so are you so confident in your ideas, your style, with what you're bringing, that you would risk being laughed out the room in order to be like, okay, in order to be like, yeah, I just did something, you know, and I just changed the game with this. Because it's a lot of these things, they're hit or miss. It could be a good idea, could be wrong timing. You know what I'm saying? Could be the wrong crowd. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where I was getting at with that. Not necessarily, that Diddy, no, I ain't talking.
No. I was thinking, because the thing about Diddy is, man, all the people, all right, that type of stuff go on in entertainment. We know this. Yeah. We always have known this. You know, like it's always been a rumor. So, you know, somewhere along the lines it's true. So the people was with Diddy, and that was the way of the game, to compromise yourself to get on. And you know, and a lot of real niggas didn't get to make it, you know, because of that. Yeah. But they weren't about to do it. You know, and they were successful. They were successful too, and just didn't go that route. African Bambaataa is one of them. I know he ain't got a good name, but still, like in the founder of the hip hop, he was like, I'm not signing nothing. And, he wasn't compromising. That's why I thought you was getting that.
No, you see, the thing is that because with that right there, you know, you had said, so I've been studying that. You remember that post that we had chopped it up on real briefly about Roger P. Henson's granddad was like the first one to explore like some Arctic region or whatever the case may be. Yeah. And so I have been studying, looking into the things like the things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? And I just sit up here and I just think that everything Hollywood, politics, mainstream, I just think it's a big ass shit show. Okay? And so the thing is that just like your show right now, you understand, just like the things what I'm trying to do, as far as I'm concerned, I would much rather reestablish the chitlin circuit. You understand? In the green book type of things. Because this right here, because everything out there, because you cannot go out there and, you know, if you got to go out there, if you got a real gift, in order to share that gift with the world and be compensated, and you got to do something, and you got to sell your soul, whatever selling your soul means to you. Nah, that's not. I don't want to go through those channels. You understand? Like I'm connected with a few poets like from around the country who got big names. Like, if you're not into poetry, you wouldn't know these people. You understand? But at the same time, I'm glad that I know of them. I don't care, I don't care about mainstream. I'd much rather give my time and energy to the Honorable DJ Metal Monkey than Shannon Sharp. You know what I'm saying? The Shannon Show. Or, you know what I'm saying? Or any other mainstream joint. You see what I'm saying? And, you know what I'm saying? Because I think a lot of that too comes with a lot of celebrity and hero worship and people doing stuff like people. Matter of fact, I was saying that some months ago to somebody. You know what I'm saying? You've been in the hood. You know, you walk around, these kids come up with all these crazy. Well, as a man, would you suck another man ding-a-ling for $1 million? You know what I'm saying? I don't think those questions just come clean out the air as what a lot of people do. And so in any case, so you went like, man, I got to live in my skin for the rest of my life, dude. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do, that's fine. I can't do it. I can't do it.
I know it's some shit that's just against moral code, and we just started playing with ourselves. You know, that's what I say. Taking in too much information. I heard Denzel Washington talk about that, and I thought about it. I said, you take in too much information. Basically, stay on social media 100% of the time. You know what I'm saying? Turn on your notifications, and that'll help out. But turn that shit off, because too much information will distort your own judgment and reality for yourself. You know what I mean?
Right. Go out there, touch some grass, man. Go ground, go do something, man. I'll tell you this social media, it ain't real. It's a tool. It's going to help me I'm going to make it help me before it destroy me. I'm going to say that.
It's absolutely helping you though, because I mean, that's how I got you up here. I like to look at people, and then I like to look at their talent. I don't like to just holler at folks, especially when it comes to the show. When it comes to everything, I don't like to just holler at folks. I like to go check their talent out and see what they really worth. And when it's that diamond in the rough, oh man, it's that shit. That's why, and that's why my watch time and all of that stuff is long, because you guys are talented, man. Like, you are very talented.
Yeah, appreciate it, bro.
And these are the Chitlin Circuit conversations. And like you said, we have to start at this point. We should have never not been going to Chitlin Circuit route. I don't know what the fuck happened.
And see, and even with that right there, because you know, it's white ice, man. But see, like even with that, you got somebody like Whitney Houston. You got people like really major players in the game. Okay, Whitney did not need a record company per se. Whitney could have started her own thing, and I'm just saying Whitney. I'm talking about any successful artists. Okay, but especially us with the state of our music overall, we go and we sell it to somebody, and they distribute it, whatever like that. And they get a bigger cut than the damn talent do.
Yeah,
and so that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And see, and that's what, and that's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying, with stuff like that. We got to maintain, like, if this is our music, this is our culture, we need to take care of it as though it was our baby. You know what I'm saying? Because if we don't, we get exploited in the things that we created, the things in our gifts. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, if it's taking me a little bit longer to get to a certain place, you know what I'm saying, it's because I'm not finna sell myself. Right. You know? So and there's some people, there's a standard that some of us have, and I salute all of them. You know what I'm saying? And so, but I guess even to some extent, you don't know what people dealing with, what they would do in order to go the Diddy route. You know what I'm saying? We talking about Diddy, all of them on that bullshit. All of them on it. You know what I'm saying?
All of them,
you know, but nevertheless, you know, we taking on Diddy right now. He's the one in the news right now.
All right, so since we on that topic, what about the rap beat, all the way from J. Cole, because I know Kendrick snapped, and I'm still in Kendrick's corner because all this other shit became corny in my own opinion.
Yeah.
But what's your take on that, man? J. Cole apologized for his diss rap, his battle rap. It wasn't even bad.
You know, I'm a little bit torn. Okay, I am. I'm not gonna sit up here.
I'm big torn.
Huh?
I'm big torn. I know.
It's like, man, like, listen, like, all right, yeah, we out here, we trying to shed light and dead the nigga shit. I'm like, okay, but dude, okay, on the one hand, I commend him, salute or whatever like that. Like, dude, this is a beef. Like, with your whole style, you'd want to think before you go out there and, you know what I'm saying, before you act. And the idea that you may not have thought it through before you did that is kind of baffling to me. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you know, so in the case, I would have been like, let's just say, for instance, he just said, you know what, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I'm just going to go ahead, Daddy, you do what you do or whatever. I could have maybe accepted that a little bit more. But again, even though I don't necessarily like it, I don't necessarily knock him either. It's a funny place, but dude, you stepped out there, you did that. You know what I'm saying? And you said what you said. You know what I'm saying? So stand on it. But let's just say, for instance, between Tupac and Biggie, would they still be around if somebody had to say, yo, man, let's chill, let's dead this right here? You know what I'm saying? Because that's right here, because, yeah, you grow up, you apologize when you're wrong or whatever, like when you do, you know what I'm saying, when you feel like you wrong somebody. But at the same time, this is a beef. This is a battle. I'm talking about, boy, no holds barred. You going straight at somebody's throat. I'm like, okay, now, J. Cole, is this something that you, is this out of your realm? Is this something that you never want to do again? Okay, if not, okay, fine. Don't do it no more. Don't ever do that again. Don't ever do that again. But to the same token, I'm not going to go out there and start nothing with somebody and then back up. Like, no, I'm not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? But if somebody come at me, I'm going all the way out.
So you have like poetry beef, right? Like not beef, but like, you know, like contests and shit, you know?
Yeah.
So like it's competition. It's just like when you're a writer, that's just something that you should want to do anyway. You know what I mean? Like the show.
You want to be your best. Yeah.
Yeah. Like what would you even have you ever been in a situation like that where I don't know, man. Because you rap too. Because I know you used to rap too.
I did. And matter of fact, I remember one time, it was probably about 2001. Yeah. Dog, I'm telling you, see, I wasn't real good at freestyling. But on the freestyle, okay, when I tell you, we came up with it and say the dude. I'll tell you, we have to come up with it again. I'm glad we got to talk about this now. But man, I'm telling you, when I tell you, it was just coming. It came to. It's like, you know, I went like straight ultra instinct with this thing. I'll freestyle a whole battle with this dude, and I like literally like destroyed him on the spot. He couldn't come back with nothing. I'm talking about it flowed so good. I hit him with. I'm talking about I hit him all of them pressure points. He couldn't do nothing. Okay, and so the thing, and I didn't apologize because that's what he was on. He kicked that off. You know what I'm saying? And so okay, we're gonna do this. Let's finish it. And so the thing is that you need to, you know, and again, that's the part that's killing me about him, about the J. Cole. You know those situations better than anybody. Don't apologize. Yeah, and so for me, I'm just sitting right there. And so for me, I have been in the situation. So that was one situation where I battled. You know what I'm saying? Like even one of the things I used to do, you know what I'm saying, when I was rapping more so, if I didn't, I'm not gonna say nobody's name. They mainstream anyway. They don't know who I am. But I just did not like this one. I just imagine myself battling against them. Okay? And see, the thing is that there's this poet, like, you know, and again, I'm throwing out all these examples because there's this poet, you will never know it about her. I'm talking about all these, she talks about awareness pieces, awareness stuff, Black empowerment, spiritual things. I'm talking about, man, I'll tell you, she just this love bug. Yeah. But when I tell you, if she could write a couple of verses, I'm telling you, and you will never know. You'll be sitting right there next to her, you listen to her talk, you will never know. But she will destroy a lot of these rappers out here, like been in the game for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Local. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, a little bit, because, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of time, I say, because she showed me some stuff. I say, you would gash these fools, man. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the time, even if it's in your head, even if it's out there in the open with everybody, you want to bring your A game. Okay, who thought Chris Breezy could come like that? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, shit. I was going to get to that. Go ahead. What's your take on that? I heard Quavo. Oh, man, what's your take on that? We already know.
I like, man, I'm like, dude. I'm like, man, well, he put the light-skinned dudes up in the game, dude. I'm probably
man, that shit was so bad.
Yeah, man, I'm like, man, that was wild, man. I'm telling you. So anyway, Quavo, he hit him a little hard, but it wasn't as hard as Chris came at him. You know, and so anyway, but again, whether imagine or in your head, you know, whether imagine in your head or you got an actual thing, you want to say what you say. Yeah. You want to say what you say, and you want to say it with your chest, and you don't want to apologize about it because, you know, it's especially if somebody bring it to you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You got to make them regret that. You know,
in the form, in that form, especially like, you know what I was saying the other day? I said like poets are, all right, hip hop is really now poetry.
Yeah.
True hip hop in its rawest form.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It's that, because between the industry and all that, it became something else. And when you said that about the chick, the writer, the thing about it is y'all write and y'all feel the environment. So y'all always been number one lyricists, like top tier lyricists. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's sort of harder. You know what I'm saying? Because poetry is sort of like battle rap almost. Like you got to know how to move people, to hit people and pressure points and shit.
And that's exactly. Yeah. And see, that's one of the things that, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, whenever I had a piece that kind of tank, I had to go out there, I had to go under the drawing board, I had to go under the hood and stuff like that, do a little diagnostics and stuff. And so the thing is, like, okay, is this me? Is this the crowd? There's some different places where I went and did different poems, and they got it. They knew what I was trying to say. They was getting all of this. And so anyway, a lot of time, it's your crowd. You know what I'm saying? And so in any case, you know what I'm saying, we know Rakim, God MC, you know what I'm saying? We ain't finna go out there, we ain't finna expect him to go in front of a country music crowd and rock that thing. You understand? Because that's not his avenue. right there. You know what I'm saying? And so that's not, you know, as the country music fan, that's not what he's not what they do and they listen to. They have to be around it for it, understand the splendor, the gift that they have been given in Rakim. Okay, and so the same, so that said, you know, you gotta find your avenue. You got to find where you are, like, within all of that right there. Because, see, the thing is, and so, you know, what they told me, like, yeah, you know, a couple people say, yeah, you teach some stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, yeah, I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know, I don't know. This might be somewhat controversial, but I stand on it. Like, as I reference Tupac and Big again, okay? Which is the better one between them? That's not what I'm saying. Do not take that, you know, don't get what I'm saying about what I'm about to say. Because again, Tupac has a level of thug poetry. Tupac really didn't really use fancy words and complex metaphors or whatever like that. And so, yeah, that's my dog out there. This, you know, he out there scratching. I got to get his claws straightened out. And so anyway, he didn't use a lot of fancy words and complex metaphors or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, but where he won at, where he would win at is that he brought his soul. He let his soul talk to you. Like, he didn't just use his words. And I've told people this. I say, your words are but words. You got to let the people feel your soul at the same time. And so, who's better out of Biggie and Pop is subjective. But lyrically, I think Biggie had an edge on Tupac. But it's about what you want. It's about your preference. It's about, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's about, you know what I'm saying, what you like personally. You know what I'm saying? Because you see a part of yourself in that person, that person made you see a part of yourself in them. And you know what I'm saying? Because it's not, you know, my mom used to say, you know, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And so, you know what I'm saying, Jack and Jill ran up to here. You know what I'm saying? Or we can say something else, say that in some other fancy type of way. You know what I'm saying? But you still get that point across, but you want that. But in any case, the idea is that, again, you bear your soul and we share that with them and you want them to feel it. You know what I'm saying? Not just hear the words, because that's where the MCing comes into play with it there.
Yeah, absolutely. I seen that. Like, that's why I just said that, because I was like, and a couple days ago I was talking about it. I was like, man, that's the new rappers, because I listened to some poetry and they had this idea, and I was like, man, you know, I can start doing some mixtapes, straight poetry. I just do the beat, you know what I'm saying? Do the beats, do, you know, whatever else work I gotta do with it, and put them shits out. Because it's more right now, that's what people need. They don't even want rap just because of the state of hip hop right now. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people. And poetry, that thing, I was like, that's the new hip hop. That's hidden hip hop. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's the thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, shout out to the last poets, you know what I'm saying? Gil Scott Heron, you know what I'm saying? And the rest of them. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, and so I had read something that was talking about they saw the trajectory of hip hop even before it really got started good. You know what I'm saying? And see, and again, look where, you know, it's 50-something years. Okay, look where it's at now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of things, because see, and you know, even in which case though, man, it's just like, you take somebody like, that's why I like the likes of Scarface, Nas.
Oh, that's my
you know
guy.
what I'm saying? Because there's a difference between talking about the streets and glorifying it.
Right.
Okay. Scarface and Nas, to me, they talked about it. They let you know what's going on out there. You know, they ain't telling nobody to go out there and drop Percocets and go get drunk and go shoot somebody up or whatever the case may be.
Crazy shit.
Right, you know what I'm saying? And so anyway, like Nas said, it's hood politics, so acknowledge it. Leave, you know, anyway. He just had a, you know, and then, you know, it says Scarface, to me, and then even in which case Scarface, he checks off all the boxes. He's the GOAT to me. You know what I'm saying? He checks off longevity. He never put anything out there whack, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. He checks off all of them, you know, and so, yeah, that's why I like those. And so, in any case, again, he, especially with the tiny desk, Jordan, he had not a few months ago. The thing is that, yeah, he had a grittier sound, you know what I'm saying, when those songs that first came out. But see, now he slowed it down, and he it's like even as we grow up, like we grew up with them, you can feel the message a lot more now than you can then. You understand? And so,
and felt it then too.
Huh?
I said we felt it then too, but it evolved.
We felt it then too. You understand? It's just like, you know, and like Don said, we ain't them little niggas no more running dangerous. You know, you just sit up there, and so you take that line that right there to me, and then you go back and you listen to it. I know you, and I never understood why. I never seen a man cry till I seen the man, because when you put in those hard situations, stuff gets so real, and you just sit up there and you just sit up there. And a lot of times we listen to some good music. We was in some good times. We was probably in some of the best times, but at the time that we was right there, we didn't even recognize it.
Right.
Up until we listened to those things and we able to go back in those time like, yeah.
Yep.
And you know, that's why we need to be in the moment a lot of time and not take these things for granted, because dog, it's some beautiful stuff going out here. You know, we're not everybody else. You can't compare our stuff to everybody else, man. We need to be who we are. You know what I'm saying? The poetry is everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, man, I'm gonna slow down, man. Let me go, man. You know, go ahead, man. Dog, I'm telling you, because I can run away with it, man. Because I can say a lot of the stuff I've been dealing with, dog. I was just so it's so profound. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's, you know, you see a thing. You know what I'm saying? You see a young lady. Like, for instance, you know what I'm saying? It's just like like for me, if I was able to see a light, you know what I'm saying? The poetry is there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The thing we do, if we take a situation and we articulate it the best that we can. You understand? And it's just like, yeah, you know, she might be physically, aesthetically nice looking or whatever, you know what I'm saying, pleasing and everything. But then when you see one and she has a beautiful soul, and you just sit up there and you are just able to take that right there and you can write a love poem. And then you turn around and you show it to just like your poem is not necessarily a mirror, but a reflection no less about the way you feel about her presence, her existence. You know what I'm saying? And see, and that's what it is. And it's it's subjective. In some cases it's just a you know what I'm saying, it's just it's real though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Depending on who takes it in.
Yeah. And so you know what I'm saying, like, you know, is she in the presence of mind to receive it? Because a lot of times when you really see some things, you know, you see certain ones that are not really able to receive that thing. And so, but it's like it might be the first time they heard something like that. You understand? And why you feeling like that? Or it might be something that you something that they probably already kind of knew, but they've been feeling bad about themselves for whatever reason. Maybe they got out of a bad relationship. They just needed somebody to just say something nice to them. You know what I'm saying? Pick them back up or whatever the case may be. And so anyway, there's not a crowd there, but then it's just like that is your muse and your audience. You know what I'm saying? Because we all draw it off of something. Look at what's going on around you. Look at everything. I'm talking about just like, see, and that's what just try to grasp it and not just write about it. What are you feeling? Yeah. Man, just, you know what I'm saying? Like, take all of that in and write about it and whatever it got to say. And again, it may not necessarily be nothing to anybody. You know what I'm saying? Anybody, it may not be anything to some people, but for other people, it is a, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, they're like, I never really thought about that. You know what I'm saying? Because again, like you say, we're taking in so much information, we always on the go. Sometimes you just got to stop. Hell, if it stink where you at, man, I'm telling you, smell it, man. Be in that moment. You understand? If it smell good, spray some Febreze or whatever like that, you know, take it in. You understand? I mean, and not say that as a, you know,
that's even real shit, though.
Yeah, even as a story writer, man, you know what I'm saying? You want to sit up there, you putting it down, you write these things down. You want that person to feel you, because that's where it come in. Because again, there's some people out there who are way better than some of these mainstream artists that we'll never know about, because they didn't either know or have the avenues, or they didn't want to sell their souls, et cetera, et cetera. Again, That's why I support these smaller venues, you know what I'm saying? These things, you know what I'm saying? Because that's where it really comes from. Yeah, some of them bigger people, they may have been where we at, but some of them people, you know what I'm saying? I'm not promoting anybody being poor. I'm down, so I'm not doing that. I'm just saying that we need to be in a situation where the money go to the people who actually deserve it, the people who actually are providing the art, the people out there enriching our lives, not the people who are trying to, who are profiting off of our destruction.
Oh, yes. That's absolutely right. Because that's where we at, and that's the solution to a lot of problems if we somehow if we get there. And I think we will get there, man. Like
it's coming, man. You know, it's coming. I believe it's coming. Slowly but surely, it's coming. I mean, at least that's what I make myself believe.
Yeah. And well, all right. So I got this one thing I had to ask you about one of your posts, and then we're gonna take a break. You remember how I do that? I hit you back up, and it'd be like I think a 9-minute break or whatever.
Yeah.
But before we go, everyone sees the monster but ignores when it's created.
Yeah. I had a really, really jacked up temper growing up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I used to get in trouble. I used to get in trouble at school and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And you know what happened behind the scenes, I'm not gonna get into it, not gonna disclose, whatever. But it was a lot of little things that went into that creation, went into the creation of the shadow in that perspective, that expression. And so I'm like, okay, and I'm trying to, reinforce boundaries. I'm trying to, okay, like, look, y'all, and consequently, one of my favorite comic characters has become the Hulk. Particularly the TV show used to come on in the 80s. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Don't make me angry. You won't like me when I'm angry. Okay, and so now he's in he whooping ass out there, and you know what I'm saying, and teaching you about your smartness because you wanted to be Billy Badass. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know what I'm saying, when he was Bruce, you know what I'm saying, he couldn't, or David, I think that he went by in the TV show. When he was David, like, yeah, he wasn't much to, people just went on here picking. I just think that's indicative of a lot of time in life. You know what I'm saying? But that monster, everybody has the capacity to have that monster in them. Like I say, I'm 6'3", 300 plus. Okay, I believe, you know what I'm saying, I gotta have a couple skills and I can throw hands, I can wrestle, I can do all this stuff, and it wouldn't be, but every dog got his day. I might win 100, but the one I might lose a whole bunch, or I lose more than a fight. And so that monster is something that I had to, didn't necessarily kill and tame, but I had to kind of keep it restrained because I might do something to somebody else and get myself in some stuff, but they go and pick, and they like, okay, just like one of the things that I was telling you about the school, when I used to whoop ass, like, hey, yo, you talking about the teaching, you can't just go around fighting people or whatever like that. I'm like, okay, or who mess with you? You're so big. Like, man, you would be surprised at the people around here with a Napoleon complex. Yeah. Okay, so, they just want to try me just because, to see where they measure up against me or whatever.
They want to find out.
Yeah. And so, also, even to that extent, even worse than that, well, if somebody's bothering you, go tell the teacher. Okay. And so, hey, yo, Miss or Mr. such and such, they bothered me. You're big enough to take care of yourself. I'm like, okay, well, you know what? I can't win.
Yeah.
I can't win. And so, a lot of times, people, I don't know what it is about them. They just don't have a lot to do. They, bored or whatever the case may be. And in that creation of the monster, what I'm talking about is just like when I was being chastised, when I was being disciplined. Okay, they weren't doing so out the goodness of their heart because they was worried about my well-being. I was a punching bag. They took all their little stuff out on me just because I was there. Yeah. And I'm just right there and I'm trying to talk on, I'm the youngest one around or whatever the case. And so nobody's like really, and I'm like, you know what? And so, when I be talking to people, a lot of that stuff, I be joking, but I be dead serious. Y'all don't be knowing who y'all be dealing with these people. Y'all don't know who you're dealing with when you come to these folks, man. Leave folks the hell alone. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so they keep on nitpicking. And then when the monster comes out to feed.
That's a dumb.
What's wrong with you? Why you? That wasn't necessary. Like, no, you caught an ass whooping that wasn't for you because you didn't know how to leave well enough alone. That's all that is.
It was hella necessary, and a lot of times, you're right. It's hella necessary because you have duality. You know what I'm saying? And they can play with the positive side, but when you gotta be negative, like, don't make me gotta be negative. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, because a lot of people will back you into that corner to where you're like, damn, man, like, shit.
And I can tell you, like, I can't tell you how many times somebody said, well, if you do that to him, you're gonna go to jail. I'm like, you know what? And I said, I hope like hell that the stenographer go out there and she does he or she do the good work and everything what they did goes completely public. You shouldn't have been fucking with them. No. Right? You understand? And that's all it was. If somebody learns a lesson, like, you know what, I'm not finna. I heard about what happened with such and such. I don't want this to happen to me. And if that was to happen after such a situation comes about, it's not in vain. You understand? Right. And so the thing is, this is just like that. The monster, you understand? I say monster, but the monster's not necessarily the villain. The monster step in. You know, so somebody, I heard like this one sister said, it was probably one of the most profound things I said. I heard anybody say, somebody said, I'm not finna pray, something to the effect of, I'm not finna pray to God and worry about, you know, and bother him about matters that a monster can fix. You know what I'm saying? And so anyway, I was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? And I just kind of, I adopted that a little bit. Yeah. You know?
That's real shit. I might grab onto that. I like that. Because when I see it, it stood out. That post really stood out. Sometimes I don't react because I be playing online. I be probably in the middle of trolling and I see some good shit. I was like, my wife be like, you know what I'm saying? I said, man, I don't see your shit for like 4 days later. But when I seen that, it just stood out. I was like, wow. I ain't saying that to her. That I just saved it for a question whenever I get a chance to ask you.
All good.
Hell yeah. Look, let's hit this break real quick. Give me about no more than 9 minutes. I'll be hitting you right back up.
Gordon. I said, wait, God dog it. Shoot.
Nah, you straight
though.
Okay. Okay, we got so you sharing songs. I see you like you doing some kind of song challenge.
Yeah, that was like albums that kind of made, I guess, it didn't necessarily say that in the challenge, but it made like, you know, the ones that the one that made an impact on you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the most. Yeah, that's what that was about, at least to me anyway.
That Razzcast album is dope. Like that album right there, when I seen that, I was like, yo, you know about that? You go hard. You go hard to paint like that.
You talking about which one? I posted two of it. Was Solo Nights and Grand Assassination.
Solo Night, yeah. Okay. I just got it right here. Yeah, man. That Lord, all the Razzcast albums back then, just like they fucked me up. You know. He's so cold. You can listen to this joint like years later and hear something new. He was up there, man, for a hot second, and then like a different form of hip hop like started emerging and shit. But he was that guy. He was that guy. People just they sleep on him. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, his lyrics, man, were just was hard, man. I hate he didn't get the airtime he deserved. Yeah, so then he got beat up by the game. That shit was even worse. I was like, he got beat up by the game? Yeah. I mean, it was so bad. It's on camera. It's like happened in like 2008. No, I ain't hear about that. Man, it destroyed. When it happened, it destroyed his public image for me. His music, you can't tell. And I was wondering, why the fuck would you beat Razzcast up? Same thing. He like, like with Beanie Siegel. Like who knocked Beanie Siegel out? And they from Philadelphia. Like, what is wrong with y'all? Like. Wow. Yeah, man. God, dog. Biggest topic going on right now is this Drake Kendrick, because and Chris Brown beat, but then Drake entered the game with AI rollout. Yeah. And did he? I didn't hear it, but didn't he like sample like something from Tupac or something? No, he AI'd himself in Tupac's voice. Oh, okay, yeah, because I saw something about about Tupac Estate. They suing him, yeah. They want to cease and desist first. You know what I'm saying? Cease and desist. He got to take the song down. He got to take it out. Snoop Dogg just laughed at it, but I was sort of like, he's doing a lot of tricks to avoid actually having to rap, like him being able to rap. I don't think he got kicked out at all. But what I was gonna say though, let me bring this up. What do you think AI? What do you think AI is getting ready to do to these industries, to rap, to hip hop, all the way to your field? Well, man, I tell you what, it's getting. There was I saw something about I think one of the first things that came out before AI like really hit, at least in the public sense. Yeah. The lady who played Princess Leia on Star Wars, they was talking about how to put her. She died, okay, but they was talking about how to put her in scenes even still, even though she wasn't there, even though she's not alive, even though she had passed on. Yeah. I'm sitting right here, with all the applications of it. I think it does, it definitely has the capacity to compromise ethics. Because one of the things that I saw was when it comes to there was one thing they had put, somebody had AI biggest voice over the Eazy-E song, Boys in the Hood. And so it sounded dope. I was like, yeah, but this is kind of like, nah, like this is anyway. But what happens is that, as a matter of fact, there was like this Screen Actors thing too, of the writer strikes and all the other stuff, because what they want to do is they want to, at least that's what they're saying, they want to phase out the actual actors and only use their image. And if they do that, they don't have to pay the people no money. You know what I'm saying? They can either pay them peanuts or they won't have to pay them no money at all. And so if they're doing that, because when you get on TV, like you gotta sign a waiver or something, saying that about the legalities of using your image.
on the big screen or whatever. You understand? And see, the thing is that once they got your name on that ink, your name on that paper, you know what I'm saying, would they ever have to do it again? Those things expire. And you know what I'm saying? So like, so because they be trying to do little stuff with them contracts anyway. Overall, it could be very bad for actual artists. You understand? And at least the actors, the musicians and whatnot, because if you could just circumvent them and use their image and use their voice, that's pimping. You ain't got to pay them. You ain't got to do it. You ain't got to pay nobody ever again. You understand? And then while it might be good for those who are producing the music and the things, whatever, it's gonna be a whole lot more starving artists out here if they're able to succeed and getting down, and making that a lot more widespread.
Yeah, I agree. It's a dangerous place to be when you are, I say, a person like a publisher who buys the material to put out from the artist. As far as the artist, now I see what Hollywood is doing. Hollywood is starting to just pay you for your image. They just lease the image, and after that they don't need. They just need a full body pic, 30 seconds of your voice. That's it, and they pay you royalties, just like you said. And but for the artist, this is time to capitalize, I believe. In my opinion, I think it's time to capitalize doing multiple sets and multiple characters. Okay,
how do you mean by that exactly?
Well, you have many egos, right?
I have many. I have several.
yeah, right. So and being each like this guy right here is different than this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like if he's talking, it's it's a different thing, and then the Wesley Pipes or whatever. That's it. Yeah. But what I'm saying is we have different egos. So if you're putting out material and you just expand your horizon by having different characters, just say something like what's that? Sherlock Holmes. And you would you got the Sherlock Holmes story, but then you have also each character's story, like about 5 characters, different story, and you can do it like that. Like you just have to be creative with it.
I see the stuff. You not get what you're saying. To see, that's why I like talking to you about that, about stuff like that, because you was talking about interfacing with technology and stuff like that. And see, I'm focusing because my focus is on if these big people with all these resources, if they get on it, it could be a bad thing. Okay, but see now, but if you give like that, like if I'm able to create a few characters and come up and make a skit or whatever with nothing but me and the camera person right here per se, I could do my own version of Eddie Murphy playing multiple characters in Nutty Professor or Coming to America and whatnot. And see, you know what I'm saying? Like, if we gonna do it, bring the power back to the people. You know what I'm saying? Not the machine. And so, you know what I'm saying? But in that sense, AI could be a very, very viable tool in order to get some people who we wouldn't ordinarily hear about. Right. You know what I'm saying? Kind of get them some airtime.
Yeah, because you want to be, the thing about technology and weather, there's 2 things about them that I like.
Okay.
You got to adjust to it. You know, before it was just telepathic thoughts and no talking. Then it was talking, then it was writing. And you know, it was the color, it was the black and white TV, the color TV, you know. Yeah. And just the evolution of life. When these technologies and stuff come out, you have to just be the one to embrace it. Yeah. Because looking at it as a threat a lot of time, and in my little data that I got, everybody see it as, they 50-50 on it. But I'm telling all artists, use that shit to your advantage. You know what I'm saying? Because
I can dig that. And see, again, that's why I'm glad you said that, because glad you're talking like that, because it made me think. Because you know what I'm saying. If you can either be the car, you can be the deer in the headlights or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying. So we don't want to hurt nobody per se, but at the same time, but if some stuff gonna be changes, it's better to ride that wave rather than get drowned.
Right,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah, you know, and I get that.
So you could be ahead of the game, and I seen that you got a journal that you writing on. You said you almost filled it up. I don't know how long.
Well, I have I think I got like 4 of them, like 4 or 5 of them. You know what I'm saying? But it's all it's in order. It's in chronological order, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So the one that I have now, I filled up the other ones, and this one I'm working on. I believe I'm a little bit more than halfway finished with that one. You understand? I just think because I am, I think I touched on it the last time we was talking. You understand? Is that a lot of my life, a lot of the things for me didn't make sense until I started learning about who a lot of my ancestors were. You understand? Like, like my grandparents, great grandparents, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And so, and I was just like, and I won't know, and I probably won't know everything, but it was just like, but when I heard their stories, I'm like, yeah, this makes sense, because I didn't feel like I had a whole lot to in common with my immediate family.
Right.
And so whoever, and I'm writing that because just, with my descendants, upon my descendants, let's say 2 or 3 generations down, get a hold of that, they're gonna know who I am. You know what I'm saying? And I want them to know. You know what I'm saying? And I want them, to see, even with that, even with that right there, if you got power and you got influence, you try to be, you try to be just, and you try to be as unbiased as you can with a lot of things, because I'm sitting right here and I may be talking about one of my cousins. Yeah, my cousin probably messed me over, stole my money and all that stuff. You understand? And threatened to throw me in traffic and all that. You understand? I still want to be in a place to where I can give that same cousin his due. Like, just in case whoever's reading this be like, oh, he had a stupid ass cousin too. You understand? And so, okay, it might be where they come from, whatever, because we are our ancestors. We are the sum total of them. You understand? And in whatever work, there's a lot of wisdom and knowledge in our DNA and our system that we get to tap. And a lot of time we just going through and wonder why things, and the only thing we need is to just, because this is the next best thing, because we don't have, the elders, we don't sit at the elders' feet no more and listen to them talk. You understand? And listen to tell the stories or whatever. Because if we did, man, we'd be so much better for that much. You know what I'm saying? But anybody who comes after me, my son, you understand, he may, he may not want anything from him, you know what I'm saying? But if he have kids, grandkids, great-grandkids, et cetera, they're gonna know about me. They're gonna know about my moms. They're gonna know about my siblings. You understand? And so, and I just don't want, and the idea is that I don't want that chain to be broken ever again. We've dealt with a whole lot of stuff, colonialism and all that stuff, that it tore us a new behind.
Yes, it did.
You know what I'm saying? But we still, but still we persist, and I think we owe it to ourselves more than anybody to understand, because a lot of the things that we turn our nose up and frown over, like, man, they ain't finna do that with. Those are the things that we need the most, because all the money in the world ain't finna do, ain't worth a damn if we don't have our community intact.
Right.
And so,
go ahead.
So yes, I'm just saying that's why I journal. You know what I'm saying?
That's one of the lost arts, man. I remember people used to have diaries back in the day. And, when my mom was asking me the other day, well, we was all in the family meeting, kind of talking online, and one of my sisters had said, well, we all got to get together. Well, we do stick together. My family, we all stick together for real. Like, we really do.
Yeah.
And she's like, but we need to, like, live with each other, learn how to do it. I was like, no, the only thing you can leave. And I told my mom, I said, Mom, you did good. I said, because the only thing you can leave for generational wealth is your word. She's a writer too, you know what I'm saying? So like your word, your story, that journal. That's the only thing, that's generational wealth, because if I became a billionaire and gave that to my sons, they inherited it, they probably, look at the stats, they probably gonna fuck it up or they're gonna decline, they're not gonna incline. So wise words is always good to pass on to the next generation.
You
know, because that's really valuable, information.
Right. Yeah, the thing, because again, like I say, it ain't about just one person. It ain't about, you just, you gotta know, man. Like we gotta, like y'all, you say you and your family, y'all tighten it, y'all keep it together. That's dope. You understand? Mine ain't necessarily like that. You know what I'm saying? And so like either side of mine, at least as far as I'm concerned, the thing is that there's a whole lot that, I can sit up here I'm not, I've put it in perspective. I've made peace with a lot of it, but there's a lot of stuff that could have been prevented if, you understand, if there was a little bit more cohesion, you understand, a little bit more understanding, you understand, and whatnot. Because again, just like we mentioned the spiritual gifts, you know what I'm saying. If you out here, you got gifts, and you understand some stuff coming to you, and you don't understand why. Ain't nobody there to talk to you about it. My grandmothers, you know what I'm saying, could have, there was a lot of stuff that I could have stood to hear from them. You know what I'm saying? But one of them, my great grandmother, she died when I was a little, I think I was probably about 1 year old. My paternal grandmother, she died way before I was born. But some type of way, I feel like a connection with, man, she had a, I was talking to some of them, went and found some of my older cousins up there in Wilcox County, Alabama, and just like he told me, it was dope, man. I'll tell you, it was a beautiful thing. But he said, but he didn't want to just come out and say it because I guess he was still filling me out. But I think she was the quote unquote weird lady. You know what I'm saying, out there too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's just, again, that was the just knowing that puts it in, just helps me out a whole lot, because again, with the colonialism, with all that stuff, we felt like we had to compare ourselves to other people. We diminish ourselves in order to fit in with people who just really, just to be accepted. And it hasn't worked out. It's not working out with us. Mm-hmm. And so for me, you know what I'm saying? And so for me, yeah, I am the spiritual dude. I want to be among those people who are able to kind of help me find my way through this day, because when I tell you the little understanding I got it out the mud. And you know what I'm saying? And I'm happy that I'm able to help some people, you know what I'm saying, so that they don't necessarily have to go all the way down up in the mud to get it. But at the same time, we all still got our little work to do. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? But my ancestors, man, my four mothers and fathers, man, I'll tell you, they some dope people. And you know what I'm saying? And I'm just thinking about where I am with that, you know what I'm saying, and how lost I was feeling with a lot of that. That's why I'm journaling, so that I can, so just in case, so whenever somebody comes across them, like, yeah, this is what I was feeling. You understand? You're not crazy. You understand? You just have a different perception of things. And that's
you're the manifest of that then. If they were sort of you're the manifest of what they had going on.
Yeah, and see, that's one of the things that that I keep in that I keep in the back of my mind too. You understand? Because I was thinking about, a sister was telling me about how much her oldest daughter is like her ex-husband. And she said, yeah, he used to do the same thing before he get into it or whatever, the stuff like that. And I was just sitting there, something came to me just like that. I say, no, what if that was her doing that the whole time, shining through him? You know what I'm saying? And so when she was conceived and brought into this world, she was doing the same. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, you know what I'm saying, like maybe she didn't, maybe it was her the whole time and she just came through and out of him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And see, and that's why, and so it's funny you say that, because that thought crossed my mind too.
Yeah, because, all right, so, because in Western civilization, what we do is we look at everything from a Western perspective, and we got different perspectives in this over here. You know, we got different perspectives, and we just choose the narrative and kind of like lean on that. But shit, what I was getting ready to say, fuck, that we was good. That we good. Damn, what I was done. Oh, Western civilization. Yeah. So we give our perspectives from the Western world, but really, what I tell people is, like, you have to dig deep for those things. You know, like, you might not know all the science, but you own something in your personal journey. So, like, you know, that's what I looked at when you had a journal. Nobody. That's probably. I mean, you probably look at it since that's probably the only journal that's been posted in the past 5 years, 10 years. Like who has a journal? Nobody's even writing.
Right.
Nobody's
writing. And that's one of the things that came to me because, like I say, it was, you talk about the writing the raps, whatever. You can see, art comes from a very it's gonna say, and it comes from heartbreak. It comes from depression. You understand those type of things. You understand? And so the way that I write, you understand? Because I remember I was, you mentioned the raps that I was writing. You know what I'm saying? I had just got out of depression. You understand? Like my influence with writing rhymes is Razkaz, Nas, Guru. You know what I'm saying? Cannabis. You know what I'm saying? Those are like my main influences right there.
Right.
And so, you know what I'm saying? And so, I'm not trying to write like them. You know what I'm saying? I just like the way to do it. I'm trying to write like me. But in those writings, in that, somebody else, they can draw a picture way better than me. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of just whoever, they can draw from imagination. But for me, it is, that was one of the things that, I was probably about coming out that depression. I was probably about my early 20s, I want to say 20, 21 years old. I had wrote, my brother, he lived up there in Kingsport, Tennessee. That's like on the line of in Tennessee up there by Virginia. Yeah, by Virginia. East. Yeah. And he said, and so I remember that was that trip that we had up there was probably one of the most. I'm talking about that joint looked like something off of. I'm talking about Chevy Chase could have made a movie off that joint. You know what I'm saying? National Lampoon, a wedding vacation or something. I'm talking about, and that was probably one of the wildest things that I have ever dealt with in my life.
Cousin Eddie.
Man, look. And so I was out there. And so anyway, going in the 8th grade. My brother said, anyway, the first, my brother, the first assignment in English and Lit was to write a story about our summer vacation. And so I wrote about that. And so anyway, the teacher, she loved it. That was like one of the most entertaining things she ever did. And I just wrote something down and I looked at it and I was like, oh, okay. I guess it was good. And one of the things, and so anyway, in high school, there was a writing prompt that said, okay, you it's 50 years in the future from now or whatever, and write a newspaper article about about what's going on about 50 years in the future. And I did it. And anyway, I was talking about a full-scale alien invasion or whatever like that up in high school. Yeah. And they like, damn, like you talking about, this is good. You use words up in here that I didn't know. But I'm like, okay, and I'm just, and I'm like, okay, y'all trolling me or something like that. No. But then I looked at it again, it was a dope story. And so the thing is that it is an art. Like somebody can draw a picture, somebody can paint a picture, but I can use words to help you create a picture in your head. You know what I'm saying? And see, again, I didn't really hone into that. I didn't really get into that then. And so I want to say probably about 2009, 2010, I got knocked clean on my ass again. You know what I'm saying? Sister I was conversing with at the time, she had, she was into astrology. I was 28 and a half years old. In the astrology thing, it takes Saturn about 28 and a half years for one 28 and a half Earth years is one Earth Saturn year. Okay, something like that. Yeah. And so, but anyway, the phenomenon is called Saturn return, and they say those who experience Saturn return, you lose your place, you lose your car, you lose your job, you lose your friends, you lose everything. And when I tell you, I got the brunt of it, I got all of it. And so, it was rough, man. And so anyway, and after that, that's what I started. That's what I started paying attention to what was going on around me spiritually. And so And I was like, so I was, and so I was experiencing this, and I'm like, okay, and so I knew the ancestors were present. I knew something was around me. Like, I can't see them, but I know they're there. I can perceive them. I know that they're there.
Yeah.
And so that's when I got the idea to write that first book. You understand? Because, matter of fact, it's kind of a trilogy, but it is, it's a sequel to a first and a second one. And that book right there, those books were supposed to be one book. But then I was like, okay, and I started writing on it. I'm like, okay, and I'm talking about when I tell you it just started flowing. I was a mad person. I just started putting it down. You understand? I'm telling you, just like, when you got something, you got an idea of something, you just got to write it down before you forget it. No, that idea was in my head for a couple of years. I forgot nothing before I went in there and I put it down. And people who have read that book, they say, it opened up something about them. It made them see some stuff or whatever the case may be. And so when I was, and again, I'm diminishing myself a little bit. You understand? Because ain't nobody on this tip what I'm on. You understand? And I've been called crazy so much. And all this stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because see me, I'm a big dude. I'm supposed to be playing defensive line for the Dallas Cowboys, New Orleans Saints, Atlanta Falcons or something. Like, no, like, the fuck you doing writing poetry and stories, nigga? You supposed to be out there busting heads. You know what I'm saying? And so that type of stuff is so, but when I had really got out here, when I started, and so I started writing the stories, and I'm like, and the people was telling me, and look, and I'm like, I'm skeptical about certain compliments. I'm like, y'all really can't do this? Y'all really can't do it? Y'all really don't know how to do, this is not your, and I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Because again, you've been beat down so much, you just don't really, you know what I'm saying? You say people blowing smoke, and I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So when I see it, I'm like, well, I'll be damn. I do got, I am about something. I am worth a damn. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Right. I got to tell them that they got it. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, and that's when I really started to embrace it. You know what I'm saying? And so poetry, like I say, it's just like you imprint part of yourself, you seal something and you put it on that paper. The poetry, it's the same thing you're doing. You're doing it with rhyme though. You understand? And you got a couple of minutes in order to get your point across and then shut it down. You understand? In the book, it can go on forever if you want to. You understand? Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? So these stories are just like, you just don't take it for granted because, especially now, as you said it, it's something divine about it. It's something that's in me that just has to come out. And you know what I'm saying? And it's not even necessarily, and the things that's about it, just like I heard somebody say, like the mama cow, so she produces milk that she'll never drink. That's for somebody else. Mm-hmm. And so the thing you're doing for other people in order for them to kind of, because in some sense you got it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's hard being, you paying the cost to be the boss. Is rough out here, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying? People who are actually benefiting from you, being who you are. Sometimes them people, they need boundaries. Sometimes them people, they take advantage or whatever because they really don't know what it takes to be you. But nevertheless, a lot of the stuff that you do is not necessarily for you. It's for somebody else. And so when we do that, and when people know that, when we understand what we're contributing to something, and we understand what somebody else is contributing, just like Superman. Superman is probably one of the most powerful heroes in comic history. Okay, whoa. But you know what I'm saying. But if you want to go and you want to talk about fish, you want to talk to fish and gather fish, you finna get Aquaman to do that. You understand? You want to talk about business and stuff, you finna get Bruce Wayne to do that. You understand? So yeah, just because you know what I'm saying he's the most powerful does not necessarily mean he is the most well-rounded. And so it just speaks to that interdependence because we all got a proverbial superpower. You understand? But what does that put into the community at large? That's what we got to understand. You understand? If we're genuinely interested in changing the overall situation.
Yeah, and that's what I was. What I was gonna say earlier when I was talking about Western civilization, I made it spin real good. But
go ahead.
What you just said, and we have to be in control of those our imaginations. You know what I'm saying? We're a collage of people. We're a collage of the things that's happened to us in the way we perceive it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And what we do in the Western world is judge ourselves, even individuals. I've done it. You know what I'm saying? Judge ourselves based upon how much money we have. That is insane. That is totally insane. When we obvious at this point, it's an obvious trick. The money ain't even backed by gold. Like it is an obvious trick. So even with yourself, man, I just want to just keep you encouraged. Like I want you to stay fighting. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be whatever you perceive. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever you see in your vision, that's what you're gonna be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the truth about it. But everybody looking at money like that's a thing to gauge something off of. That's not. It don't exist.
Yeah. Right.
Your personal value will always exist. What's your contribution to Earth? You know what I'm saying? What's your contribution to Earth? Because 2,000 years from now, however much money ain't gonna matter, but your writings might be there still.
Yeah, and see, and again, that's why that's why it's important to be like, man, wouldn't it be something? You understand? If your great grandkids sit up here and my great grandkids, or find the archives of this show, like, man, they was really chopping the shit up, and then they just have a better grasp and understanding about things just because of this conversation right here. That's what I'm concerned. That's the main thing I'm concerned about. Money is a tool. You understand? Again, just like we started off at the top of the show, people said they sold for this. You understand? Like, man, what, like, man, it's not that, man, I'm like, boy, I love my freedom. I love being able to go outside and do just pretty much kind of what I please without somebody over my back. You understand? And, it's just like one of the things too, one of the things that kind of compromise your art is when it's forced. Because, you know what I'm saying? You sit up there like, one thing you're letting it flow, but if you're on contract and you got all of these poems due or all of these albums due or whatever the case may be, you just got to shoot something out there and hope it's good and hope it's well received because, you know what I'm saying, whatever. So the thing is, but, so I say all that to say that you're right, man, let it flow, so let this thing, just let it be. Let it be the contribution, let it be what it is.
Yeah. I got to wrap it up in a second because I got fucker talk to do in like an hour. But all right, so what events do you got going on? What you got coming up for us, man? What's going on? Gonna drop something?
Events, like I say, Black on Black Rhyme Mobile, Step to the Mic Poetry Troupe. We have our shows at 3526 Halls Mill Road at Mobile Blend Nutrition Hub every second Saturday of the month. You understand? This one show, matter of fact, is today is one of our members' birthday. He got he's an artist. He he's not just a poet. He does painting. He does drawings and stuff. And he sit up there. I mean, he did the show like this last year. He just sit up there and he just give a rough sketch of a canvas way back. You know what I'm saying, of what you gonna do, and he just let you write. You know what I'm saying? He let you draw. You know what I'm saying, like paint. Excuse me. The pictures on it. You know what I'm saying?
That's hard.
Draw whatever colors you're going to draw on it or whatever the case may be and make it your own. It's dope. He does it the way he does it. And so, we have the paint and poetry show May 11th, Saturday, May 11th. I have one of my other egos, Philip Good, PhD. There's a joke in that if you pick it up. He has a I recently got my doing some voiceover. Well, it's stories, you know what I'm saying, that I'm just kind of speaking above, you know what I'm saying. The Philip Good, that's the erotic dude, you know what I'm saying, because I'm not trying to sexually typecast Hyrim or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, and this story that I got that I'm doing now, that I'm been trying to finish, been beating my ass for years, man. Called The Conspiracy of My Ego. Ooh. It is a social look. You know what I'm saying? It's a gritty social story from man perspective about life and love and women and all that other stuff. And so anyway, I told people this is going to be the last one, the last thing erotic that I write, with any type of adult themes in it, under the name Hyrim. And so, and if you want to do that, if you want to hear about that coming from me, you're probably going to be getting them out of Philip Good, and I got a few things that I'm going to be writing on. Got a couple of books, book ideas already that I'm going to be writing on under Philip Good, under Feel Good. And so, man. So my stories, they coming back to back. Like, even in that sense right there, you understand, like, people, and the reason why I'm doing that is that, I don't know, I might be talking a little bit too much now, but I got to say, Like, no, I got to get it out. I remember one time there's a field kind of out there next to my house. I go out there in the field, I meditate, I walk barefooted, you know what I'm saying, and you know what I'm saying, say a little prayer and all this other stuff or whatever. And I remember one time it was, I want to say probably about 2017. When I tell you, I was just out there, I was in the zone, I was just, and then all of a sudden, in my mind's eye, I saw a woman spread damn eagle. I'm talking about showing all her glory just like that. And I'm telling you, when I tell you, I felt like shit because like, damn, why is this shit on my mind like right now? But again, the things is just so abstract. People cannot reconcile, and that was me at one point, obviously, cannot reconcile spirituality and sexuality. You know, yeah. And the thing is that, you know, and the thing with that is that, you know what I'm saying, that, what they call sex magic, for lack of a better term. You know what I'm saying? The people, they, you know, the church of people, they talk about a man that finds a wife finding a good thing, and obtains favor from the Lord. That right there, to me, is related to sex magic. You can manifest. You know, there's pleasure, there's procreation, and then there's manifestation. If you just want to go ahead and, you know, if you want to do that, and so you in that energy right there. It's a creative energy. It's a creative force. It is a union of the sacral chakras right there. Man, there's more than we could do with that and whatever. So that's what came to me a little bit later. And so there's a lot of people. Since there's a lot of people who have lacked sex education, yeah, it's going to be Philip Good is a you know, it is comedy, it is adult entertainment, but it's also a little bit of education too. You know what I'm saying? Because these things. I remember there was a sister one time. She had said to me, she said that she said as a woman, especially, she said, if I was to tell you I was hungry, you tell me to go get something to eat. You understand? But if I tell you I'm hungry, you want to sit up there, people want to talk down on me. And you know what I'm saying? Instead of going and get that took care of. And I said, you know what, you're right. That's a good point. And so with that said, I guess you could say if we eliminate a lot of the taboos out here, you understand, regarding the sex and sexuality and the sexual experience, then maybe people will be able to be better functioning adults. You understand? Maybe we can cut down on some of these pervs being out here, whatever. Right. And so so there's Hyrim Ether, and then Philip Good is also on a mission too. You understand? And so and that's kind of the because I got some comics I'm working on, even with that too. And so I mean, Philip Good about to be about to make as big an impact as Hyrim Ether has. And so to whoever may concern, please be looking out for that.
I damn sure here, man. The author of The Ancestral Children, Hyrim Ether, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming on the show. With a shout out, bro.
Man, like I say, man, just about people, black on black rhyme worldwide. Step to the mic, especially. All of my poets, all of my people out there working to make the world a better place. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to succumb to the bullshit I hear. Everybody trying to like really, really bring the village together. The Chitlin Circuit, the Green Book, all that stuff, man. Hey, yo, man, I love y'all. Much love and peace, man. And victory is ours, man. So,
all right, we gonna be. Look, I'm gonna hit you back. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be back on the show soon, man. I'm gonna hit you right back, like in probably about